Hi, my beautiful queens and kings. This is your one and only Queen Deesh here. So it is the week for the men. It is the week for my kings. I normally do this on Tuesday, but I am not going to be available tomorrow night. Hey, Will. I am not going to be available tomorrow night, so I wanted to make sure that I still did a Kingness tip for my men. I still did a Kingness tip for my men. As you can see, like I'm all in fitness attire, but I show up. I absolutely believe in showing up. We all know that 80% of success is just showing up. So regardless of how I look, I'm going to show up for you guys. I believe in authenticity. You guys should know by now I'm all about authenticity. So it's never ever about perfection. And, you shouldn't be trying to be perfect and feeling like you have to be a certain kind of way. If you have a message and your heart is pure and you want to make a difference, my goodness, just show up and be yourself, and the right people will love you as you are. So yes, I am here. I still have on my, I guess, gym stuff, but it is okay. It is okay. I am here for my fellas. I am here for my gentlemen. I am here for my kings. Because like I said, I will not be available tomorrow night. So I went ahead and I said, let me go ahead and do it tonight, since I can. Okay, so it is the night for my men, for my kings. What I do, I alternate between doing queendom tips and kingness tips. Last week, of course, I did the women, my heart space, of course. I did my queens. And so this week, of course, it is time to do the men again. We've come back around to the men. So for those of you who do not know, I am the author of Queens Don't Settle. Oh, I'm sorry. This one is Kings Don't Settle. Sorry. Kings Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower men. Okay. I am also the author of No More Broken Records, 5 Tips to Change Your Tune and Transform Your Life. And lastly, Queens Don't Settle. Queens Don't Settle, a book of poems. Let's see here. Let's try this side. There we go. I think. A book of poems to empower women. Okay, this is the queen. This is for the queens. Okay, so all 3 of my books are available on Amazon. But what I am doing is what I do is the Kingness Tip. I don't read the poem, but what I do is I reference the reflection. My poetry books are reflective. And so what I do is I take the reflection in the book and I base the tip based on that, okay? So the poem that I'm referencing tonight for the men is from the poem called Man. Man, okay? And it's actually a parts of speech poem, okay? So based on the reflection, okay, the reflection talks about the fact that, gentlemen, a man that is masculine is attractive to many women, okay? Do you consider yourself an alpha or beta male, and why? Okay, so that is the reflection. So the Kingness Tip, okay, we're going to be talking about that. So again, here it is, available on Amazon. Kings Don't Settle, Kings Don't Settle. Okay, masculinity. All right, gentlemen. So the alpha male versus the beta male. Well, yes, it is very true. It is very true, gentlemen, that many women, we like masculine men. This whole, oh, let me scroll down here. Why? What do you mean why? Well, what do you mean why? Why what? Oh my gosh. Um, anyway, so yes, many women like masculine men, okay? And there are women that, yes, they prefer to be a dominatrix per se, if you will. They prefer to be um, more of the one in charge, and that's perfectly fine. But based on our reflection in the book, okay, we're going to stick with the women that like masculine men, okay? So it's really a question for you, gentlemen. Do you consider yourself a masculine alpha male, or do you consider yourself a beta male, and why? Okay, there's no. Oh, okay. I actually, tomorrow I am going to be at Busboys and Poets, so I should be performing at Busboys and Poets tomorrow. So that's why I am not going to be able to do the normal Kingness Tip on Tuesday, because I normally do it on Tuesday. Yeah. So that's why I said I wanted to make sure that I at least did it tonight, and I can upload it to my YouTube channel so you guys have that and it's available. But yes, so do you consider yourself an alpha male, or do you consider yourself a beta male? There's no right or wrong answer, gentlemen. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of you being truthful with yourself about who you are, okay? About who you are. You know, the poem itself, you know, it does mention masculine, being masculine. Like I said, I don't read the poem. You have to get the book for that. It's on Amazon, but the poem itself does talk about being masculine, the man being masculine and like a champion and stuff like that. So masculinity, you know, we certainly live in a different time. I will say that we live in a different time. And so, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer as far as whether you are more alpha. Are you? Hi, Jabron. No, no. I am doing it tonight because I am not going to be available tomorrow. So that's why I am doing it tonight. Okay, I know you haven't missed it. um, but anyway, so like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Okay, it's just we certainly live in a different time, and you yourself as a man, you need to know who you are, okay? You need to know who you are. And every woman, while yes, there are many women that like masculine men, there are also women that are happy, as I said, being she being more of the person that's in charge. That's fine. That's fine. Um, but this is about you and you knowing who you are. Okay, you have to do the work, gentlemen. You have to do the inner work on yourself. You have to do the self-reflection. Okay, so you know who you are, because a lot of people, especially when it comes to relationships, a lot of people are going into relationships not knowing who they are. And as a man, you know, if you don't know who you are, okay, that's going to have an effect on the person you decide to be with. You know, we who we are based on our level of consciousness, our mindset, okay, our level of consciousness, we are going to choose people based on our beliefs, our thoughts, the paradigms that we have, okay, our level of awareness, okay, based on where we are. We're going to select people or choose people and attract people based on that. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to know who you are, because when you know who you are, it's easier for you to then select, you know, who you want. It's easier for you to know the type of woman, you know, that you want, the type of partner that you want. It makes it easier. You have more clarity because you know, excuse me, who you are. So if you are an alpha male, if you have come to that awareness, great. If you are a beta male, there's nothing wrong, okay? Great. You need to be aware of that, and then just own it. Just own it. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer, but just own it, you know. And if at the same time, I will say, if you're not, like, don't masquerade around and act like you're an alpha male when you're really not. Okay, that's not walking in your truth. If you know that you are not confident, if you know that you are not an alpha male, okay, and you are more beta, okay, just own that, gentlemen. Own that. Like, I think a lot of the reasons why a lot of people are, or should I say, like, we have a lot of issues. We'll just use the word issues with the dating world today, is because people aren't being honest about who they are. They're not walking in their truth. A lot of people aren't even aware. They're not even aware. And so that's why I do both the queendom tips and the kingness tips. So I'm talking to both of you, okay, both men and women. So there's never, I don't believe this queen here, we don't do male bashing, just like we don't do queen bashing. My men do not bash women, and my women do not bash men. Okay, that's not my tribe. Okay, we talk, and we speak, and we can freely discuss our opinions, and share our opinions, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but we're not going to dog men out, and we are certainly not, the men are not going to dog women out. That's not my tribe. Okay, we're just having mature adult conversation. Okay, so yes, I think a lot of the reason why there's a lot of issues or challenges, if you will, with dating today is because a lot of people don't know who they are. And if we're talking specifically about my kings, okay, you guys have to know who you are. Okay, you cannot masquerade around and pretend to be a confident man when you're not. You can't pretend and masquerade around and act like you're this alpha male and you just, you have it together when you really don't, because that's not walking in your truth. That's inauthentic. That is inauthentic. What is that? I'm sorry if you guys heard that. Okay, goodness gracious. Sorry, you guys. Oh my gosh. Yes, sorry about that, if you heard that. But yes. Oh Lord, of course you would say that. Well, anyway, but yes, you have to know who you are, okay? You have to know who you are. That, my point with this particular kingness tip, okay, it's based on the poem called Man. And in the poem I talk about him being masculine and like a champion, and the reflection itself is just asking you if you consider yourself an alpha male or a beta male. And like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. It's more you being aware as a man what you are and owning that. Okay, if you are a beta male, sweetheart, own it. Just own it. Okay, like I said, there's someone for everybody, you guys. There's someone for everyone. But don't pretend to be something you're not. Do not pretend to be something you're not, because guess what? The truth is going to come out. People can wear a mask. A lot of people, put their representative on when they show up on their first date. People wear a mask, okay. But you know what? The reality of the situation is the truth is always going to come out. The truth is always going to come out, okay. Give it some time, okay. I would tell my ladies, yes, men, I tell my queens, time. Give it time, because you can't hide who you are but for so long. You cannot hide who you are but for so long. If a woman is paying attention, okay, because women have the gift of intuition, okay, we really do. If my queens are paying attention, okay, your actions as a man are going to show her who you are. You cannot hide who you are but for so long. And if she's paying attention and she's following her intuition, she's going to get the answer, right? So just be yourself. Like, own who you are. If you're masculine and you're alpha, wonderful. If you're beta, that's fine. Just own that. But be who you are. Okay, be authentic. Like, I can't stress that enough, because that's another thing. It's already hard. You hear so many people talking about today, in today's day, dating is so different, and there's so many challenges, and people are flakes, and I might attest to that. Yeah, I think people are quite flaky. It's an unfortunate thing to say, but it's kind of the society we live in. People are just, they're kind of flaky. They're kind of flaky, and I don't even understand why. I don't understand why. If you like a woman, your actions should show it. If you want to meet someone, if you're interested, to me, it should just be very simple. It really should be very simple. But again, I don't know. People like not showing up a man not showing up at all and not having the decency, like to tell a woman, like, maybe he's just not interested beforehand. Yeah, it's certainly different. I will say that. But I don't want to get far off the subject of the Kingness Tip, but you know, I love you guys. Yes, my queens are my heart space. But I love you, men. God gave me the inspiration to write the poetry book for you all. So what an assignment. Lord have mercy. I don't even know, like, I mean, I knew I was always going to do that, because when I initially did Queens Don't Settle, it came to me like Kings Don't Settle. But, I just kind of put it away. And I figured, when the right time it would come. And it came, when it did this year. So apparently, this is the space and time where you all as men need me and need, that type of empowerment per se. So I am happy to definitely show up and do this for you all. Well, that's true. I can't disagree. I cannot disagree with that. Yeah, I mean, my biggest influence was home. Like, it's so crazy. It is definitely a different time. My biggest influence was home. I mean, hell, we had Sega Genesis. Like, my old school peoples, they know we had Sega Genesis and Nintendo, but like we didn't um we didn't hide behind that. Like, we didn't lack social skills because we were playing games all day. Like, I don't know, it's different. It is different. It is different. It's, well, but see, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, another oh my gosh, I'm not gonna call him out, but what I will say is another. There's a podcast that I tend to see clips of. I follow them, and I tend to see clips, and they talked specifically about recently. They specifically talked about how video games are like, they're not the enemy. He worded it very well, but how video games have pretty much made it hard. You're so terrible. He's so terrible. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not calling him out. Oh my gosh. So he pretty much talked about video games and how, men get to hide behind video games and like this fantasy world, because that's what I guess video games do. I don't play video games anymore, so I don't know. But as a man, he was talking about other men, and it came from a place of love. It wasn't like he was trying to be, bi or like dog you guys out, but he was just being real and saying, hey, video games are kind of like not helping men because it causes them. Excuse me, 1 second. Okay. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Oh my gosh, my life. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. So yes, he was talking about how video games cause a man to hide behind a different world. And but when he talked about it, I believe there was some truth in it, because if all you do is play video games all day and you're not out in the real world, and you don't socialize with people, like you're not having conversation with real people, and you just live behind video games, then yes, I could see how a man, if we now put that in the realm of relationships and dating, I can see how a man who doesn't have that because he's lived behind video games and he doesn't have the social skills now to go out and talk to people, that means he doesn't have the social skills to go out and talk to women. So I understand what he was saying. I absolutely understand what he was saying because he admitted it for himself. Um, so, men, you guys have to do your part. You guys have to do your part. It is not something where, with my queens, of course, we don't blame men, just like with you guys, we can't blame women. It's just both of us, both genders, both sexes, we need to do the work. We need to do the inner work to heal ourselves. We have to become aware. We have to know why we are doing some of the things that we are doing. We have to know who we are. We have to know who we are, okay? Because that is that is a huge reason why we have so many issues. People are not aware. They're sugarcoating stuff. They're throwing stuff under the rug. They're not addressing their issues. Not addressing their issues. And so even as a man, if you're not addressing your issues, okay, then your issues are unresolved and they go unhealed. Okay, and that just leaves you broken. Okay, and we don't want that. The whole purpose, even though the movement is for women, I pretty much can expand it to men now, per se. No More Broken Records is a movement to empower women not to settle. But my intention, from day one years ago, when I knew that I sort of was going to be in this space, per se, and I had that gift. Like, I knew that it was going to be for both men and women. It was always for individuals. It wasn't just for women. It kind of flowed that way. But No More Broken Records is, yeah, it can include men, per se, now. Men are not supposed to settle. Hello, kings don't settle. Kings don't settle. Okay, kings don't settle. So both sexes, my people, my queens and my kings, we don't settle, honey. Period, point blank. Okay, so no, I just need you guys to do the work. Okay, do the work. Recognize the patterns that you may have. Recognize patterns that you may be following that may be generational. What your father did as a man, your father learned from his father. Okay, so it's like a generational pattern that keeps going on until someone decides to come along and break it, right? Depending on what the generational cycle is, or some people consider a generational curse. It depends on what it is in your family. But we'll just say a generational cycle. Your father is only operating from what he knew to be true. His father was operating from what he knew to be true, and naturally he passed it on to you. So you as a man still have to do your work. You have to do the inner work to figure out why you do some of the things that you do. You have to figure out, why we don't have to say why, but if you're talking about recognizing and becoming aware of whether or not you are an alpha male or a beta male, okay, well, guess what? You have a father. He may be in your life, he may not be in your life, but you have to pick up your manhood and what you were taught was manhood and how to be a man. You had to pick that up from somewhere. You have influences just like women do, okay? You have to figure out where that came from. Who influenced you growing up? Who were you listening to? Who were you surrounded by growing up as a man? Because those people helped shape you into who you have become as an adult man. Okay, what you heard and what you saw, okay, what you were around, your external environment, what you were around in your childhood, okay, that conditioned you and programmed you with certain beliefs, okay, with certain beliefs about yourself and about the world, okay? And so you have taken that, okay, right into your adulthood. And some of you men are not aware. And that's why you have to become aware of that. And I always tell, well, it's actually in the book, as I say, to go back to your childhood. You have to start there. Who were your influences? Who taught you about love? Who taught you about being a woman, for the ladies? Who taught you about being a man, for the men? Who were your influences growing up? What did they tell you? Okay, you have to become aware of that. because people aren't just how they are for no reason. They're like that because they were taught how to be like that, because someone ingrained it into them from when they were younger, and they don't know any better. Okay, I'm operating from what I know to be true. Okay, I've done a lot of work. Like, I'm always doing the work, you know what I mean? Like, I've done a lot of work because I'm intentional about breaking cycles in my own family. Okay, there are some things that, yes, I want to break in my family. Okay, so I'm doing the work. And if you want to do the same thing, you have to do the work. Okay, you have to have the clarity. You can't deny who you are. Okay, do not deny who you are. Do not live in denial. Okay, you have got to own your truth. You've got to own your life. You've got to take responsibility for it, where you are right now. You know, you have to take responsibility. If you happen to be a beta male and you want to be an alpha male, okay, well, you're going to have to start here. You got to do the inner work to figure out, well, why do I consider myself a beta male? Who taught me about manhood? You know, and when you look at that, you may recognize, when you do the inner work and the self-reflection, you may recognize that the men that you were around when you were younger were all beta males. So it's only natural you grew up to be the same thing, okay? And it's not a bad thing. It's just becoming aware of that. So that way you can change it, okay? Men, you have the power. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to change your outer world, okay? Because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, okay? It's an inner game first. It is an inner game first. Mindset is everything. Like, it's an inner game first, okay? So if you want to change something about yourself, you have to go within first. You have to go within first and figure out what it is, where it came from, and what you need to do to, break that cycle, break that habit, change it, what new habits you need to cultivate to become what you want to attain, or to, attract what you want to become or what you want to attain. It's a process, okay? It is not something overnight, gentlemen, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, transformation and this path of enlightenment and just growth, it ain't easy. It's not easy, okay? And I'm a queen, honey. I'm a woman. So as a man, I'm sorry, it's not going to be any easier for you, but you have to start somewhere, okay? I love you, and I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I love you guys. This world would be so different if everybody started to show up for themselves and people would do the work, do the inner work to heal themselves. Because again, it is inside out. It is inside out, okay? All of this, all of the outer is because of here. Okay, it is. It is an inner game first. Mindset. Your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions. Okay, so you have to be very mindful of that. But you also have to do the work to figure out where all of those thoughts and habits came from. Okay, they came from somewhere. Okay, you do not just, all of us, okay, have learned, we have, like, all of us have bad habits, let's just be honest, okay? But we've picked that up from somewhere, and like, over the years, we have these habits that we have learned over the years. So there's no way, you're talking about years, there's no way that you're going to change that overnight, okay? That is a process. It took some of you 20 years, okay? You've been doing the same thing on the same cycle, the same thing over and over and over for the past 20 years. You have like 20 years worth of bad habits, okay? We just have to call a thing, right? Love is truth. I'm gonna say that again. Love is also truth, okay? No band-aids, no orchestras here, no sugarcoating. No, we are authentic and real here, okay? It's taken us years. So that's a long time, okay? If we want to change something, it is a process, okay? But the first thing we do have to do is to become aware of it. So if you do want to be more masculine, if you want to be that alpha male, wonderful. wonderful. But you're going to have to take some steps to get there. Okay, especially if you have not always been that. Okay, that's a process. Okay, so give yourself some time, gentlemen. Like, don't be unrealistic in your transformation. Like, don't be unrealistic. Give yourself time to do the inner work and to do the reflection and to figure out, why you have been why you've been how you've been, and then you have to make a different decision. Okay, people seem to think that you can just think stuff, which you can, because what you focus on expands. But people fail. I think people get caught up in just the thinking part of it, or maybe just the visualization part of it. You have to follow it up with action. Okay, you have to follow it up with action. If you want a different result, you're going to have to do something different. So there's going to have to be some action in there. Okay, there's some steps, some things you have to do for that to change, for you to change and cultivate a new habit. Okay, so whether you want to become more alpha, more masculine, more confident, okay, you're going to have to do something every day. It is a process. Every day, you'll have to do something different, okay? Not something different, but you'll have to take a step every day, okay, to do something to get you towards your new habit or the new goal, whatever it is that you're trying to attain. But it's a process, gentlemen. It is a process, no different than I would tell my queens. It is a process. We all have negative conditioning and negative programming. You're talking about years of poor programming, poor conditioning, making us feel like we're not worthy and deserving of the things that we want, and, just keeping us stuck in all of that. No, we do deserve better. You as gentlemen, you are kings. Okay, you are kings. Okay, my queens, my ladies, my women, they're queens. My gentlemen, my men, you all are kings, and kings don't settle. No, it is your divine birthright to be successful. It is your divine birthright to be the first person in your family to do whatever it is, that no one else has done in your family. It's your divine birthright to do that. It's your divine birthright to be financially well off. It's your divine birthright, okay, to be happy. It's your divine birthright to have a happy, healthy marriage, if no one else in your family has had that, okay? You can break that cycle, gentlemen, just like my queens, okay? You guys aren't here sort of part of my tribe by accident, Divine design, honey, divine design, okay? You have it in you to break the cycle. You have it in you, okay? You have it in you. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, you can do that. You can do that, okay? But you, like most people, you're gonna have to do something different, and you're gonna have to do the inner work first to become aware of it. You cannot change what you will not acknowledge, okay? I will say it again. You cannot change what you are not willing to acknowledge, okay? So if you do not walk in your truth, you will not heal yourself. If you do not own who you are right here and right now, you cannot become the next version of yourself or whatever it is you're trying to attain, because you're not owning the truth. You're not owning who you are, and you're not taking responsibility, okay? You have to take responsibility for where you are. You cannot blame other people and put the blame on other people. You can't do that, okay? I mean, yes, technically you can, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Pointing fingers at other people, it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to take responsibility, gentlemen, for where you are in your life. You have to, okay? And if you want to do something different, if you want to become more masculine, you want to become an alpha male, okay? Or if a beta male wants to become an alpha male, you're going to have to do something different, okay? You're going to have to do something different, period, point blank, okay? But you have to start with the truth about who you are, and then do the work. Do the work, okay? I tell most of you all, for some of you gentlemen, the podcast that I have is Queens Don't Settle. But I always tell you that The men can listen in on the podcast. You can listen to the podcast because the principles that I talk about pretty much apply to men. You can tell based on when I'm speaking on there, you can tell most of the principles apply to both genders, okay? But yes, I mean, it's Queens Don't Sell, it's for the ladies. But I also have my prayer calls that I do. I post the ones that I do on the podcast, so my audience, my tribe has that as well. Okay, it's free. The podcast is free. It's available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes, and several others. But I always, I just think it's easier for you guys to go to Anchor because Anchor gives you, I'm pulling it up for you, I'm sorry. Anchor gives you all of the different places where you can listen. So, okay, well that's the link for the podcast. Normally the picture comes up, but it didn't, but that's fine. But yeah, you guys can listen to it as well, okay? It's no different than what I tell the ladies when it comes to this, is you have to do the work. Okay, there's no other way around it, gentlemen. There's no other way around it. Okay, the masculine man who's confident and who can go out and talk to any woman that he wants. Okay, he may not have started off that way. He may have had to do the work. Okay, to build himself up, to work on himself, to become that confident man, to become that masculine man that women are, so attracted to. He may not have been that. He may have been a beta male and decided, like, you know what, this is not working for me. Okay, there's no right or wrong. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. If you're a beta male and you're cool, be a beta male. Okay, if you're an alpha male and you're cool, be an alpha male. But whatever it is, okay, as far as, masculinity and who you are choosing to be, you get to choose that, okay? You get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose how you show up in the world. That's you. You get to choose that. And that's why I said you can't blame anyone else for where you're at. You can't point the finger at other people. You are choosing to be who you are. Based on your thoughts and your words and your actions, you're making decisions every day, gentlemen, in regards to who you are and how you show up in the world. You're making that decision. Okay, so if you don't like it or you want to change something, then you need to change. You need to change. It's just that simple. There's no other way around it. Then you need to change. Something that you're doing has to change for your world to change. Okay, but I love you. The Queen absolutely loves you. You are absolutely worthy, men. You are absolutely worthy. You are so worthy. You are so worthy. Just both men and women. We have different ways in which. So it's kind of like with the double standard with women. But you know what, men, you guys have it bad per se in regards to what society says that you should be and what you should have. You guys have it bad too, in the sense that they condition you all to grow up and never cry and never show emotion. And if something came up, they tell you, suck it up. Don't let me give you something to cry for. Well, I got that, and I'm a woman. Hey, I grew up in a Jamaican household, so I got that. You need me to give you something to cry for. But as a man, a lot of you guys have gotten that, where if something hurt or something bad happened, you weren't conditioned to believe that you could show your emotion, that you could cry, that it was okay to do that. So a lot of men grow up holding on to all of that. And that manifests for a lot of men. It's like excess weight, mental, emotional, physical weight, because you hold on to a lot of stuff, and you never heal it. You never heal it. And so that's why I talk about doing the inner work. And that's why it's an inner game, because sometimes the weight that we carry is because we have stuff that's not healed. The physical weight is because of the emotional weight. the emotional stuff that is unhealed, that we haven't dealt with, the unresolved issues, not forgiving someone, bitterness, something that may have happened in your childhood that no one knows about, that you refuse to acknowledge, that you're in denial about. There's a lot of different things, okay, a lot of different things, but it sometimes that's people are carrying, men, you too, yes, you're carrying physical weight because of the emotional stuff that you're not healing within yourself, okay? But you deserve better. You deserve better, and I want you all to love yourself enough to do the work. Love yourself enough to do the work, okay? Do the work, because that's the only way your life is going to change, is if you take responsibility for it and you become aware of the conditioning, your thoughts, your beliefs, where they came from, who influenced you to even have those thoughts and beliefs, in the first place. You have to become aware of that stuff, okay? So that way you can decide who you want to be. And as I said, with alpha or beta, you get to choose. You get to choose, okay? But I love you. I absolutely love you. Definitely listen to some of the podcasts. Listen to some of the recordings on the podcast, of course. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. What else? My website. For you men, you know what? You can read some of the blogs, yes, on the website. It is, Queens Don't Settle. It's fairly easy to see it's for my women, but there are some blogs on there that you men can read. Probably more so for you guys, probably the ones that fall under the inspirational tab, just the normal like inspirational tab maybe. But I imagine there's something that you can pick up under the relationships, all of the articles, under the relationships tab, because the reality of the situation is a lot of the principles apply across the board to both men and women. Men, you need to love yourselves as well. End of story. You need to love yourselves as well. Kings don't settle, okay? Kings don't settle. Period, point blank. You guys need to love yourselves as well, okay? You need to I was going to say something, and I'm on a Facebook Live, so maybe I'll say it when I do one of my events, or it might come out on the podcast. But what I will say is, you need to love yourselves, gentlemen. You need to love yourselves in the same way my queens need to love themselves. Okay, it's not just women that need to love themselves. You need to love yourselves as well. Okay, you should have standards too. You should have standards too. Okay, you should believe in yourself. You should believe in your dreams. You should believe in your goals. You should be mindful about who's in your circle and who you're hanging around, and whether or not those people have your best interest at heart or don't. Those principles apply across the board. That's not just for women. You need to love yourselves as well, gentlemen. Okay, that's why apparently God gave me the inspiration to do that. To give you guys that. You need to love yourselves as well. Okay, you are worthy. You are deserving of the best that life has to offer. Period, point blank. Okay, but you have to do the work, just like my women. You have to do the work. All of us, we have to do the work, and it's ongoing. It is not an overnight thing. We have to constantly be working on ourselves. It is an inner game. Okay, it is an inner game. Constantly working on our thoughts. Constantly, being mindful of them. It's an inner game. What are you watching on TV? What are you listening to on the radio? We have to be mindful of those things. Okay, all of that is conditioning us. It's going into our minds, and that is the same for you, gentlemen. Yes, it is the same. It is the absolute same. Okay, so love yourselves. Absolutely love yourselves. Put yourselves first as well. Put yourselves first, okay? Because the better you are, gentlemen, just like I tell my women, the better you are, gentlemen, the better you are for everyone else, okay? The better you are inside. The better you are for everyone else, okay? The better you are, the better you attract, okay? The better you are, the better you attract, okay? Are we all broken to some degree? Yeah, okay? But Are there things that we can do? Are there things that we can do that we have control over? Yes, absolutely. Okay, we should not be sounding like a broken record all the time. Some people live their entire lives in fear. They live their entire lives doing the same thing over and over and over. It's the same things, the same issue. I mean, don't you get tired? I mean, don't you get tired at some point? You know, but people don't realize they have the ability to make a different decision. It's a choice. You're choosing to do that. You're choosing to stay in this situation. You're choosing to stay in that relationship. You're making a decision. But that decision is usually based on something that the person is not aware of. They're not aware of the generational patterns. They're not aware of, you know, how their influence, how their parents influence them. You know, they're not aware of that. And that's why you have to do that work. You have to come to that awareness. You have to become more self-aware, because that will allow you to recognize those patterns and recognize why you make those decisions. I'm telling you, it'll be like the aha moment, the enlightenment. Trust me, trust me. Like let's see, I'm thinking, I think I started to question the world per se and challenge my beliefs and all of that probably in my 20s. I think it was in my 20s, you know. So, I mean, I didn't even know. You know, it didn't come to me until later. But it came. And once I became aware of that, like I started reading a whole lot of books. And so naturally from that, I started to attract other books into my life to help me keep growing in my consciousness and to, you know, help me become even more self-aware, you know. So it's once you like open yourself up, and you open up the floodgates, like it's totally different, but in a good way, because it's going to help you become who you are. It's going to help you become more self-aware, and then you'll realize that you have the power. You absolutely have the power to make a different decision. You have the power to change your outer world. You have the power to do that. Okay, so just like the Kingness Tip about tonight, whether you're choosing to be an alpha male or a beta male, know that it is a decision. You are choosing that. You are choosing that. And if you want to be someone different, whether you want to be a man with more confidence, you want to be, you know, a man with better, you know, maybe you want to increase your finances, you want to increase your financial situation, maybe you want a different job, whatever it is. Maybe you want a different body physically, maybe you want to work out, you know, to lose weight or just to tone up and get more muscles, whatever, men, whatever it is for you, okay, you have the power to make that change. You have the power within you to make that change, but it starts with you, okay? You are making decisions every day that are either going to get you closer to your goals or they're not, okay? They're either going to get you closer to what you're trying to accomplish or they're not. It's just that simple. So if you want to be more confident, as an example, if you want to be an alpha male, you know, maybe join, you know, some men's empowerment groups, you know, maybe go on Meetup and join some, you know, social men's groups that meet up. A lot of the groups on Meetup, they're free, you know, they're free. Meetup.com, okay? They're free. You know, maybe you join a church, or maybe at your church or your place of worship, okay? Maybe at your place of worship, you join a men's ministry. Like there's something that you can do, okay? There's something that you can do. It just depends on whatever your goal is, okay? Whatever your goal is. But there's something that you're going to need to do differently, okay? So you can get a different result, okay? But whether you're alpha or beta, it's fine. It's just, who are you choosing? Like, who are you? And who are you choosing to be? It's just that simple, okay? Yes, a lot of women, I am one of them, attracted to a masculine man. I am. I don't have a problem letting a man lead, okay? But my issue that I have in today's day is that men aren't leading, okay? Because men need to do the work too, okay? There are a lot of broken and hurt men out here, and I'm just doing my part to try and help with that, because men, we do need you, as I said, we don't do the male bashing here, just like no queen, no woman bashing. Like, men, you are needed, okay? You're needed. You're absolutely needed. You are valuable and you are important, just like my queens, okay? You absolutely are, and we need you. There's no doubt about that. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't need men, okay? I'm single right now. I mean, I'm dating, but like, I'm serious with nobody like that. So, no, I'm not screaming that and talking about that. I don't need nobody. No, no, not here. No. Okay. But men, you have to lead. Like, I'm more than happy to let a man lead, but guess what? He has to lead. And the reality of the situation is, if he's not leading in his own life, he can't lead me. A man has to be leading in his own life. You can tell. Look, you can tell. Look at a man and what he does, and his patterns and his habits and what he's doing on a regular basis and where his life is and what he's doing. You can tell. Is he leading? How is he leading in his own life? You know? So that's my thing. But my husband is out there. End of story. I absolutely believe in him and that he's out there. For moi, for this queen. Yes, her king is out there. But men, you get to decide. You get to decide who you are. You get to decide who you're going to be. And whether you choose to be alpha male or beta male, that is completely up to you. There's no right or wrong answer, but you need to own who you are, okay? Please do not act like you are someone you are not, okay? That is inauthentic. And you can't be surprised if you attract people and they find out that you're not who you said that you are, and then they don't want to be involved with you anymore. They don't want to be around you anymore, because you basically lied about who you were. So just be you. Like, trust me, be you. Like, as I tell my women, be your authentic self. Like, the right people will love you as you are, okay? But you've got to be yourself and own who you are. Everybody isn't for everyone. Like, women like masculine men, some women like beta men. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I like men that lead, but you know what? There are women that like to be more in charge per se, right? So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just who you are and who you're choosing to be, gentlemen. Okay? But know that you are worthy and you are deserving, okay? And you are definitely a gift to this world, just like my wonderful queens are. You are definitely a gift to this world, and you are not to settle, okay? Because my kings do not settle. You are not to settle, okay? There's nothing in the good book that talks about and speaks about settling, okay? We are all here and put on this earth to live a phenomenal, purpose-filled, wonderful life. And everything that you want, gentlemen, you deserve. It is absolutely for you, okay? It is your divine birthright, okay? End of story. It's your divine birthright. But we all have that conditioning and negative programming that makes us believe that we're not. So that's why it's so important for you to do the work, do the inner work, the self-reflection. And I think it's best when you are doing your self-reflection, that you write stuff out in your own handwriting, okay? Have a journal. Like, maybe some of you men need to start journaling. That can be very, very therapeutic, very helpful. Like, some of you may be surprised when you start to write, like, what surfaces from within you, okay? But you have to do something. You have to do something, because if you don't address the things in here, it is manifesting in some type of way, okay? I promise you. If it's not healed, okay, suppressing something doesn't mean it's gone. You may have pushed it to the back, okay? You suppress it, but something can trigger it to surface, okay? And sometimes you'll see, that's why you'll see, like, it could be a beautiful day outside and like a person will just go off at like the smallest thing, because you know what? There's so many other things attached to that. And that just became the scapegoat for it, right? We all know people that do that. And probably we ourselves are guilty of doing that. A beautiful day outside, right? And I'm just giving you an example. But you just go off. And it's like, what just happened? You know, like where did that come from? And that's because there's some unhealed things in here going on that we haven't given attention to, or that we've suppressed. And so naturally something triggered it, and boom, and then you explode, right? And people don't deserve that, right? Sometimes unfortunately you do that to the wrong people, and you can lose out on good people. Okay, so that's why you should just do the work. Love yourself enough to do the work. Okay, love yourself enough to do the work, and heal yourself, because we have the ability to heal ourselves, gentlemen. You have the ability to heal yourself inside out. Okay, everything is inside out. You have the ability to heal yourself. Okay, so whatever it is that you need to work on it. Become aware of it and work on it. Do not deny your truth. Okay, as I said earlier, you cannot change what you will not acknowledge. Okay, if you sweep it under the rug and pretend that it's not there, that doesn't make it go away. Okay, it's something's going to trigger it. Something can trigger it, right? Don't do that. Okay, just do the work. Okay, do the work, because you deserve that. Like, you deserve to do the work to heal yourself, right? So then you're a better person overall. You're a better person. You're happier. You're healthier. Like, a lot of the stuff that you're holding on to is probably the weight that you're carrying. It's holding you down and it's holding you back. But imagine when you do the work. Imagine when you do the work and you release that weight and you let it go. Like, whew, you release the energy of that. Like, it opens you up. It opens you up, gentlemen. Okay? And you deserve that, right? You absolutely deserve that. Okay? So I love you. I think we're running time. Yes, we're coming close to an hour, so I need to get out of here so I can take a shower as well. Ugh, I haven't even had time to like do any of that. But I was so dedicated to make sure that I showed up for you guys, since I won't be here tomorrow. Yeah, I made sure that I just like got home, had my little boiled eggs, and jumped on for you guys, because I love you guys that much. Yes, I will post this on my YouTube. So it's there. Don't forget, you can, like I said, the podcast, Queens Don't Settle. I put the link in here in the comments. You can still go to my website. Yes, like I told you, for the men, it would probably be more so maybe the inspirational tab that may be best for you. But just scroll through the blogs and see if there's something in particular. Why didn't that come up? Okay, there it is. Something, that may speak to you as a man, that you may pick something up from, because like I said, the principles apply to both men and women pretty much, right? But I love you all. I love you, men. Yes, I love my kings too. My queens are always going to be number one. I'm sorry. But I love you, men. I absolutely love you. You guys are worthy. You guys are worthy. We definitely need you. Yes, we do. We definitely need you. You're worthy and you're valuable and you're needed. You are absolutely needed. So love yourselves. Love yourselves enough to do the work. Love yourselves enough to do the work so you can be who you want to be, and when you are who you want to be, like, you're going to show up differently. When you're operating from a higher vibration, you're happy and you're healthy and you're wonderful and who you want to be and who you see yourself as, that's a totally different space than, a space where you're broken and hurting and holding on to so much stuff and not owning who you are, not walking in your truth. Those are like two totally different energies, two totally different spaces. But you get to choose that. Okay, remember, it is a choice. Every day, you're deciding, gentlemen, who you are and who you're going to be based on what you're doing. Okay, based on your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Okay, so choose wisely. Choose wisely. Alpha male or beta male. It is completely your decision. Okay, it is completely your decision. But you get to choose. And if you want something different, if you want whoever it is that you choose to be, okay, if you want something different, if you want to become something different, you're going to have to do the work to start. to become that person. And it's not going to happen overnight because we have way too much negative, like we've developed all these bad habits for years. Okay. You're not going to get there overnight, but just take one step, even if it's baby step, just daily do something every day that will put you on the path to becoming this, next level version of you, or this new version of you, whoever it is that you're trying to be. If you're a beta male that wants to become alpha, if you're semi-alpha and you want to be like fully alpha, like whatever it is that you want to do, gentlemen, right? You deserve it. You deserve it. You're absolutely worthy and deserving of it. So just take the steps to become that person. Nobody can do it for you. Like I can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. I can talk to you and try to encourage you and remind you that you are a king and that you deserve the best that life has to offer, and that you should be your authentic self and you should own who you are and become whoever it is that you want. I can tell you that, but if you don't take any action and you don't do anything different, nothing's going to change, my love. Nothing's going to change. Okay, so it is a decision that you have to make. Okay, but I love you, Queen. I mean, Kings. Look at me, Queens. I love you, Kings. I absolutely love you. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah. Talk to you guys in 2 weeks. I will be back next week for my Queens, of course. But like I said, I will post this on my YouTube. But I thank you and I love you guys. Like I thank you guys for showing up. I thank you guys for sharing it. Everything. Like I love you guys. I love you guys. You have no idea. I'm very grateful and thankful to have the ability to do this. Like to have published 3 books. Like to have that in me, come through me, flow through me divinely, for God to give me that to give to you all. Like what a gift. But I'm here. I am here. So, and that's all you need to be, like to have the pure intention and the heart to make a difference. And like, that's all you have to have. You don't have to be perfect, guys. Like you don't. So, if there's something that you're thinking about doing, like do it. I don't know. Some of you may, actually be friends with me, like on Facebook. But those of you, because I know some of you will watch the replay and stuff like that. I posted recently on my Facebook timeline. I came across it's not a meme, but like I guess it's a message. And this lady, this woman is about to hit $1 million in sales for wine bottle condoms. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Wine bottle condoms? $1 million in sales. And I posted that in my trading group. And I was like blown away. I said, see, we really don't have an excuse. Some of us are like sitting on ideas that we think are stupid and silly. And this woman is about to become a millionaire, or I'm sure she's probably already a millionaire from wine bottle condoms. I'm like, we don't have an excuse. So gentlemen, I just want to throw that in quickly before I go. If you have an idea, because that's a whole nother poem in itself, and that's a whole nother reflection, but I just have to say, if you have an idea, gentlemen, my God, can you please act on it? Because like this, they say the sky is the limit. No, there's no limits, period. Like the only limit is us and this that's stopping us. That's it. Like if you have something that you want to do, please at least try. I mean, my God, for the sake of humanity, please try. I'm so serious. Like when you see some of the stuff out here, like, please try. Sometimes there's a lot of people that may not get your vision. There's a lot of people that may not support you. It's just the process. It's just how it is. Ask any successful person, like if you listen to them, like they all been through that. So yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like it's going to be some easy fly by night thing. It's not, but you may have a solution to somebody's problem. You whatever it is that you're thinking may be like this. It's something that may very much change the world. You never know, or something that people will like and love. And for you to not act on it and not do anything but just sit on it, what a waste. You know, what a waste. And really sad at that. Like don't do that. You gentlemen, if you have an idea, my gosh, act on it. I'm so serious. Wine bottle condoms, okay? Wine bottle condoms. Hello. 1 million in sales. Like, okay. So yeah. That really just goes to show, my God, you literally just have to do the work. Like you just have to execute. You just have to execute. Believe in yourself, of course. Believe in yourself and surround yourself with the right people and execute on your plan. End of story. No matter what it is, gentlemen, you just have to execute on your plan. End of story. Okay. But you are worthy. You are deserving. And I love you. And you're valuable and you're needed to this world. Love yourselves. Absolutely love yourselves. Put yourselves first as well. Okay. My women have to do that. Okay. But men, you need to do that as well. You all need to take time out for yourself and build yourself up and become, the man that you want to be. Because again, when you're better, you attract better. When you are better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that'll translate physically. Like when you are better all around, mind, body, soul, when you think about that, when you are better, okay, you attract better. You attract better, okay? So I love you, gentlemen. I know it's time to go. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. The Queen loves you. For the last time, here is the book. Kings Don't Settle, a book of poems to empower men by Dixon, which is on Amazon. Okay, if you would like me to come speak, if you have a men's group, I'm happy to come, speak for you. But please go to my website and submit the inquiry there on the Queens Don't Settle website. Okay, submit your inquiry there if you want me to come speak for you. Definitely do that. Okay. But I love you, gentlemen. You guys deserve the best. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I will talk to you guys in a couple weeks because next week is for the queens, okay? But have a wonderful night. Many blessings. I love you. The Queen loves you. Love yourselves, okay? And I will talk to you guys later, okay? Good night.